With the 30th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills selected Maxwell Hairston, cornerback, Kentucky. Now, I'll admit, this came as a bit of a surprise to me because I did not have Hairston on my board, at least at pick 30 in the first round for the Bills. I figured maybe if they were to trade down and try to get some more assets for Friday and Saturday, give them a little bit more ammunition to potentially get that third round pick back, I thought maybe Hairston could be someone in that 35 to 45 range, especially with Will Johnson and Trey Amos being available. But ultimately, the Bills went with Hairston. So the biggest knock on Hairston is that slender frame, as he's listed at 5'11, 183 pounds. Now, Brandon Beane did say that he's pushing 190 now at the press conference. So I just figured that the Bills would want a bigger, more physical corner. But that being said, what he lacks in size, because that's probably the biggest knock on him, is that he's undersized and he needs to improve in run support. So whatever he lacks in that area, he makes up for it with this speed, because this guy is blazing fast, as he had the best 40-yard dash at the combine out of any player, clocking in at a 4.28 40-yard dash. And my first thought was, man, that is going to be so much nicer to have that speed covering Xavier Worthy in the AFC Championship game, as opposed to Rasul Douglas's 31-year-old legs or Kaiir Elam's legs that kept getting tripped up over each other this past season. So I think the Bills wanted to get speed on the back end of their defense, and they accomplished that Thursday night. And with that speed comes a lot of ball skills and ball production as well, because over his last 20 games in college, Hairston posted 6 interceptions, with 3 of them being returned for touchdowns. So if you go back to 2023, that's when he started all 13 games, and he was tied for 6th in the FBS with 5 interceptions, which actually led the SEC, and he was tied for 2nd in the FBS with 2 pick sixes. So in 2024, he only started 7 games because he missed 5 with the shoulder injury. And honestly, I think that's why he was selected where he was, because I've seen some analysts say that this could be the steal of the draft, and if it wasn't for that injury, maybe he could have been selected even higher. So if you go to some of his strengths here, I'm getting this from NFL.com, and this is from Lance Zierlein. He says he pedals and changes direction with controlled footwork, stays connected through transitions at the top of the route, does a nice job of digesting route combos from zone, reads the quarterback to help anticipate route breaks, runs well and stays in phase with the route, maintains inside leverage as a boundary corner, and instant burst into passing lanes when quarterbacks stare. And for his weaknesses, again, the main concerns are the size and his missed tackle percentage. So I think the Bills definitely improved their defense. They definitely improved the cornerback room as they filled an immediate hole there. So you can have Hairston slotting in as CB2, competing with Trey White and maybe even Dane Jackson for the starting role. But I think it's definitely going to be Hairston's job to lose. But if they want to get that bigger physical corner, they still have 9 picks left, so they can definitely double dip. And I should add that even though he's smaller, he does have those longer arms, which help him in his ball production. And another thing that I really like is his personality, as if you notice, he congratulated every single guy that walked out on the stage tonight. And he was just so excited and so thrilled to be in Buffalo. He gets to reunite with Ray Davis. And one other interesting nugget is that his cousin is Tywan Jones, former Bills running back and special teams ace. So there's a little bit about the newest draft pick for the Buffalo Bills, Maxwell Hairston. The Bills will be on the clock twice on Friday, coming in at pick 56 and 62. Will they use some of that extra ammunition to potentially get that third round pick back? Time will tell. Make sure you keep it locked in on my YouTube channel, as I will have updates throughout the weekend.